better. Like I think I was able to do one answer in 20 minutes each. So total two questions took around 40 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
So
That's actually
yes,
great.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I did that and did some MCQs related to art and culture and current affairs.
Okay. Cool. Any special filmmaker that you guys are like trying to kind of follow or get deeper understanding of?
Around a month back, I have watched 12 to 15 movies of Kurosawa. But
Kurosawa.
yes,
Okay. Why Kurosawa? Why do you think Kurosawa is important right now?
uh, not like right now. I have watched his films earlier also, but I liked every film that I watched. I started with Dreams, then I watched Ran and uh, Seven Samurais. Then I
Okay.
watched
Fair
other
enough.
also.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But I would suggest thoda smartly. I don't think Kurosawa is very important at this stage. We have only what 10 days left, effectively 10, 12, 15 days left.
Yeah, right now I am not watching anything. Just a month ago I was
Oh, acha.
watching.
Okay. I thought right now.
Mm,
Because right now every minute that you are investing should be very uh, should have a reason
right.
to smartly control. Okay, anybody else who has any question? Shruti, Manaswini, Rishabh, up on it. Rupesh, Ashna, and should we begin?
Sir,
Okay,
I
let's
had a
begin.
question actually. So, like I am appearing for both direction and screenplay writing and screenwriting. So, in
Okay.
total, I'll be devoting 4 hours, right? Including both the exams, and it'll be happening on the same day, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yes, sir, they are happening on the same day.
yeah.
Okay, got it, sir.
So yeah, but एक बार cross check कर लो. I'm not too sure about the timing.
So, sir, the timing for direction and screenplay is 10 to 12, and for screenplay is 2:30 to 4:30.
Okay, so
Where did you get this information from?
It's in the
Where did you?
prospectus. The
Prospectus.
prospectus which they
Oh,
shared with us.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Got it.
yeah. So let's begin the day. There you go. So I'll just quickly read the question once for all of you, and then see what the third people talk. Build a short film story around the details given below in one or two of the following genres: drama, action, adventure, comedy, romance, mystery, slice of life, thriller. Long journey plus a childhood dream plus new friends plus harmonica plus mother's love plus Hemingway's novel plus chocolates plus an expected twist. And though write a short film script, length 5 to 7 minutes, focusing on one of the given character descriptions. It could be a script with without without or minimal dialogue. Okay. Question paper. One takes it.
Sir, there are more options for that.
I know. Just reading out loud. Just on my mail. The options are they call him a mad scientist, but he's set to achieve something phenomenal. Two nice guys finished last. Well, this nice guy won as he is breaking back. Three, she runs a pet store business and he is allergic to furry animals. What will happen when they fall in love? Four, a bunch of superhero pets to save the day. Five, listen here, this ancient city is not on map for a reason. ये पांच में से किसी एक को इस बिल्ड करके शॉर्ट फिल्म में इन पांच कैरेक्टर्स में से एंड विद और विदाउट और मिनिमल डायलॉग कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? ओके, चलो फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं। अथर, so you have chosen this one. They call him a mad scientist, but he's set with
No, that bunch of superhero pets. They save the day.
अच्छा, तो ये किसने, ये तुमने नहीं लिखा है, ये सर ने लिखा हुआ है क्या?
हाँ.
ओके, cool, let's begin.
Sir, for this question, I have made a mistake at the start. I have given literary information in the start. That mistake I have made.
तेरी आवाज थोड़ा माइक दूर करके बोलना मुझसे।
Sir, for this question, I have done a mistake here. I have
अच्छा,
given the literary information here in the start. It is written that write a story for a short film. So I have,
so let's read this thing, then we'll discuss on this. Okay.
title, The Anniversary. Om is 22-year-old. His father is in army who has transferred to a new posting. And so Om has also transferred his admission to a new college in the city. Om loves to play harmonica and always keep it in his pocket. Om and his new friends are on road trip to Himachal, which is a long journey. They have taken a stop at riverside for camping. Everyone is busy in building tents while Om is sitting beside the lake and playing his harmonica. Purva, one of his friend, comes and sits next to him. She listens the harmonica with a smile on her face while enjoying the lakeside view that they are at. Om stops playing harmonica, looks towards her. He finds out Purva is holding farewell to arms a novel in her arms. Purva, how did you learn to play harmonica? Om looks toward the harmonica and says, "It's a gift from his mother." Uh, Purva, it must be close to you. Om, yeah. All these years of constant traveling, she is the only friend I got. So, Om takes the novel from Purva's hand says, and says, "My mother used to read this." Purva looks towards him for a while and says, "Let's have a walk." Purva and Om takes a walk down the road. Om spots a small roadside shop where some kids are playing around it. He walks to the shop and buys some chocolate. He gives one to Purva and distributes the rest in the kids. Purva smiles and asks the reason for this generosity. Om says, "Today is my mom's death anniversary. She loved kids." Purva smiles and they both continue together.
नहीं समझ में आया आपको।
Sir, actually, वो 15 minutes
तूने
में
कौन
लिखा
सा
है
वाला लिया है?
और
सॉरी,
मैं
एक मिनट, तूने कौन सा वाला लिया हुआ है? चूज किया था?
सर वो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर है।
ओह, अच्छा अच्छा, ओके ओके, सॉरी। ओके, तो इसमें ड्रामा होना चाहिए, एक्शन या कुछ कॉमेडी, लॉन्ग जर्नी, चाइल्ड ड्रीम, फ्रेंड्स नॉवल स्टोरीज एंड एक्सपेक्टेड। तो क्या समझ में नहीं आते वैसे देखिए, मतलब समझ में आया, स्लाइस ऑफ लाइफ वाला मामला है ये तो। मतलब क्या, अब बता मुझे मिस्टेक क्या कह रहा था तू, क्या मिस्टेक है?
सर मुझे लगता है मैंने ऊपर जो इन्फॉर्मेशन दी थी वो मैं यहाँ अंदर स्टोरी में डाल सकता था, वो लिटरेरी इन्फॉर्मेशन का हो गया। मैंने वो प्रीवियस वीडियोस में देखा था, मेरे सर कह रहे थे लिटरल इंफॉर्मेशन मत लिखते जाओ।
यार मुझे पता नहीं किसी को क्लियरली समझ में आ रही है क्या कह रहा है? मुझे ना आवाज क्लियरली नहीं आ रही है। मेरा मेरे
हेलो
हेडफोन का
हेलो।
नहीं नहीं, किसी और को सुनाई दे रहा है इसकी आवाज अच्छे से क्लियरली बाकियों को?
यस सर।
अच्छा, तो फिर शायद मेरे ही स्पीकर हेडफोन का ही प्रॉब्लम है, पता नहीं। मेरे को ना तुम्हारी आवाज ना अजीब सी सुनाई दी। या तो माइक बिल्कुल मुंह के पास लगा के बोल रहा है शायद, या
नहीं, एक मिनट, सब निकाल ही देती हूँ। हेलो,
हाँ बोल बोल बोल।
आवाज आ रही? हेलो।
हाँ बेटर है, बोल। बता क्या बोल
हाँ सर, जो स्टार्टिंग में मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है ना, वो
रहा। हाँ
लिटरेरी फॉर्म में है शायद, मुझे मेरे ख्याल से। और मैंने प्रीवियस जो वीडियोस भेजे थे नर सर ने उसमें देखा था कि उन्होंने कहा था लिटरेरी इंफॉर्मेशन मत लिखते जाओ, मतलब जो एक्शन और डिस्क्रिप्शन स्क्रीन पर दिख सकता है वही लिखते जाओ सर।
अच्छा
तो
अच्छा। तो तूने क्या किया फिर?
वो स्टार्टिंग में उसका फादर आर्मी में है और वो सब जो इंफॉर्मेशन दी है वो मैं
हम्म।
यहाँ पर स्टोरी में डाल सकता था, वो गलती हो गई मुझसे। 15 मिनट्स का टाइमर में लिखा था तो थोड़ा फ्रोज हो गया था बीच में वो, इसलिए छोटा है।
हाँ मतलब अभी मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि ये इन्फॉर्मेशन का क्या मतलब है। His father is in army who has transferred to a new posting and home has also transferred his mission to a new policy city. Who was grounded and they all have transferred to the Marshall. Now they have taken sort of the happening. The main friends why home sick said they can consistent she was with smile of this and going to fix it. हाँ मतलब ये वाला इन्फॉर्मेशन का कोई मतलब
हम्म।
तेरी स्टोरी यहीं से शुरू है। होम इज 20 years old, 22 years old and his new was home who is 22 years old and our road trip to Himachal। फिर वो कहानी आगे बढ़ती। पर ये कुछ ज्यादा ही छोटा नहीं है? कितना वर्ड लिमिट क्या है इसका?
हाँ सर, 300 वर्ड्स में है वो। 15 मिनट्स में ट्राई किया था लिखना, इसलिए वो
हाँ अच्छा, ओके आई गेट। तो ये तूने काउंट किया कितना हुआ ये
थ्री
roughly?
ये 300 वर्ड्स है, 400 वर्ड्स का लिमिट था, ये थ्री
अच्छा
हंड्रेड
ये
वर्ड्स
अच्छा ये 300 वर्ड्स है, ओके।
हाँ।
ठीक है, तो मतलब आई अप्रिशिएट योर एफर्ट कि नाउ यू आर ट्राइंग टू गेट गेट थिंग्स, मतलब वो पैरामीटर्स के पॉइंट से जो है उसके हिसाब से लिखना शुरू करना शुरू किया है। ये तो अच्छी बात है। तो कुछ कम बेसी भी है तो चलेगा अभी के लिए, शुरू के लिए, बट आजकल के अंदर ही तुमको वो कवर अप करना पड़ेगा। ये आदत डालना पड़ेगी, इतने लाइन इतने मिनट में इतना वर्ड्स फिल करना इतने स्पेस में, और उसके ऊपर अच्छी कहानी होनी चाहिए, इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी होनी
यस सर। सेकंड,
चाहिए। तो आगे बढ़ते हैं ना।
द नेबरहुड ट्रायल। We see a small kid is hanging from a balcony of 7th floor of a building, and his uh, mother
हाँ
mother is trying to reach him. A huge crowd has gathered down on the street. Man one from the crowd. Somebody call the fire brigade. Man two from the crowd. They said they will reach in 15 minutes. That's too long, says the man one. A boy standing next to them in the crowd listens their conversation. He takes out his whistle and blows it loudly, and the dog comes steamingly towards him. Rocky, says the boy. The boy. वो देख ऊपर, उस बच्चे को बचाना है. On the 7th floor balcony, the kid's hands are getting slippery, and suddenly his hands slips, but he grabs the bar, which was just below where he was holding. His mother makes a rope by her own knee and tries to reach towards him. Rocky watches the situation and says, मुझे बिल्डिंग पर चढ़ना नहीं आता, मैं लेला द कैट को लेके आता हूँ. Rocky quickly runs away and brings Leila holding in his mouth in a flash of a second. The boy picks up the boy picks Layla up in his hands and points towards the kid. Layla looks towards her master and says, "Samajhi." Here on the balcony, we see the mother while trying to reach her son, loses her balance and slips. Now she is hanging beside her son. Down on the street, everyone panics and starts shouting to call the brigade. Layla also gets back and says, मैं उन दोनों को पकड़ तो लूंगी पर बालकनी में चढ़ा नहीं सकती. Rocky flapping his tongue out says, Rocky, तुम उन दोनों को लेके कूद जाना, मैं जल्दी से बुल भैया को लेके आता है. Layla starts climbing the building. Rocky goes and drags the bull from his collar rope to the location in a flash. Bull analyzes the scene and tells Rocky to grab the kid and he will grab the mom. Layla reaches the balcony and without any instructions spears both the kid and mom and falls down holding them in her nail claws. She drops them both while nearing the ground. Rocky quickly jumps high in the air and grabs the kid's collar in his jaws. The bull stands up on his back legs and grabs the mom in his front legs and puts her down. Mom runs towards her son and kisses him. Everyone claps for the try, including the boy. And at last, the brigade arrives.
Okay, nice. Okay. That is nice. Very interesting. मतलब but एक ही चीज है मेरे को बस खाली मेंशन करना है पहले वाले आंसर और सेकंड वाले. And this is again for all of you, you know. Now, whenever there's such a where you get a question where you know all these options are given, right after you finish your passage, mention which of the you know options have you selected. For example, if they've said one or two of the following genres, okay, तुम्हारा genre तुमने कौन कौन सा लिया है वो मेंशन करो. सिर्फ इतना लिखना है कहानी खत्म होगी, नीचे में लिखना है genre, ड्रामा, एक्शन, है ना, ऐसे. या फिर ये कौन सा तुमने सेकंड वाले में जो इतने सारे ऑप्शंस में से कौन सा पिक किया है उसको मेंशन करना बहुत जरूरी है. जैसे ये तो मुझे पढ़ने से समझ में आ गया वो एनिमल वाला है, सुपर हीरो वाला है, लेकिन फिर भी तुम आप मेंशन करो. एक लाइन ही लगता है, वो एक मेंशन कर दो कि ऑप्शन क्या है एग्जैक्टली. A bunch of superhero pets can they save the day. हाँ, ये कहीं एक जगह एक लाइन में या ऊपर में या नीचे में मेंशन करना जरूरी है. लेकिन ये बहुत जरूरी है, ये हम लोग समझो इससे पहले कभी डिस्कस नहीं किए. मतलब आई डोंट रिमेम्बर टेलिंग यू स्पेसिफिकली about this, but do mention what genres have you selected or whatever that the question you want to select from. So don't miss out on that. That's a very important information for the reader. Okay.
Yes.
ठीक है. I think this is nice, Atharv. So I don't see anything to point out right here. I think we'll move on to the next one.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. तेरे को क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ ले अभी.
नहीं सर, वो बस लिटरेरी राइटिंग के बारे में था वो, तो पहले क्वेश्चन में गलत हो गया.
तू चैट में टाइप कर दूंगा.
नहीं सर, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं. थैंक यू.
ठीक है. ओके. अखिलेश.
Sir, I want to tell you something. There is some space mistake in the PDF which you are showing, which is not there in the original file which I have sent.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Sir, shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the title is Last Hug, genre, drama, slice of life.
Very nice.
Ishan, just 8, had always looked up to his mother, Shreya. To him and his little sister Jia, she was a superhero. Gentle, loving, and always putting their need before her own. But behind her warm smile hid silent battles. Their father was a frightening man. He often hurt Shreya and sometimes even the children. Though she tried to hide her tears, Ishan had seen her quietly weeping in the bathroom when she thought no one was watching. One morning felt different. While Jia still sleeping, Ishan noticed his mother quietly packing their bags. A jeep pulled up outside and 3 people stepped out, a woman and 2 men. They looked like the police officer Ishan had seen in his school books. Shreya greeted them with the urgency in her voice. She told Ishan, "We are going on a long journey," and asked him to get ready. He dressed up in his fresh clothes and waited anxiously. Jia and Ishat played quietly, trying to ignore the tension. When their mother finally came, her eyes were red from crying, though she tried to smile. "Hey kids, are you okay? Let's go get some chocolates," she said, her voice trembling. The children cheered. It felt like a dream to Ishan, going on an outing with his mother and sister. The officers came along, their face serious. After the treat, Ishan asked if they could go home, but his mother said nothing. Instead, they were guided back to the jeep. At the shelter home, Shreya was taken into the room by the officers. Another lady led Ishan and Jia to a nearby playground where many kids were playing. Some were reading books and novels by Hemmingway. Others played instruments like a harmonica and violin. Ishan and Jia ran around laughing and enjoying the moment. They made new friends, something they haven't done in a long time. Shreya returned and called their names. The children rushed to her. She held them tight, tears streaming down from her face. "My dear children, I love you so much," she whispered, kissing their forehead. "No matter what, I will always be your side," they echoed. "Love you, Mom." That night, rain poured gently outside. The children were led to a dome filled with rows of beds and other kids. After bath time, as the night deepened, Ishan searched for his mother, but she was gone. Jia sobbed, comforted by a kind woman who began singing their mother's lullaby. Ishan cried silently, the melody wrapping around him like a warm blanket. Slowly, his eyes closed.
अच्छा अब मेरे को 2 मिनट दो ठीक है
Okay, sir.
उनका कुछ मिस हुआ है, let me just- यहाँ समझ में नहीं आया कि क्या हुआ यार जिया एंड ईशान played quietly trying to ignore the tension with the mother finally came with she, mother came from where
From
she
that
again
room, uh,
she said she tells Ishan we are going on a long journey and asks him to get ready he dresses up in his fresh clothes and waited anxiously ठीक है इसके बाद फिर जिया एंड ईशान played quietly
okay,
they're trying to ignore the tension when the mother matlab Shreya na
yeah,
when Shreya came, her eyes were red from crying, though she tried to smile. "Hey, kids, are you okay? Let's go to let's go get some chocolate," she said, her voice trembling. Okay, she heard play a dream shop going on now to meet his mother and sister. The big turn on the busy streets on the street. It was so small, but the person at least they both quiet. They were guided back to the So क्या हुआ मेरे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आया हुआ क्या मतलब
Sir, it's like actually their father is a very troubled person. He always
हाँ.
used to beat the children and mother.
I got that. I got it. Do you mean to say
Uh,
that Shreya killed
yes, sir.
her
Yes,
husband?
sir. Yes,
And
sir. Sir, the story is going in perspective of Ishan. So he's a kid. He doesn't know what is happening.
नहीं, which is fine, which is fine. यार थोड़ा ना देख तुमको भी बोल रहा हूँ बाकी को भी बोल रहा हूँ अथर तुमको भी सुन लो थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी को यार तुम ऐसे डार्क वाले इसमें जाओगे ना तो ऐसी ग्लूमी सा है डार्क सा है पढ़ने का मन ही नहीं करेगा वैसा वाला फीलिंग होगा समझ मतलब ठीक है और कोई खास ऐसा बहुत एक्स्ट्रॉर्डनरी भी नहीं है हाँ, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं कि मतलब कि मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड हो जाऊँ कहानी को इसके यहाँ तूने सारे सारे चेक बॉक्स टिक कर लिए ठीक है इस उतना ही है सर आई गेटिंग पॉइंट
Yes, sir.
so you have to put these elements in the story हार्मोनिका भी होना चाहिए मदर्स लव होना चाहिए बेस साउंड होना चाहिए सब डाल दिया तुमने दिमाग में रख के चॉकलेट भी डाल दिया एंड एक्सपेक्टेड ट्विस्ट भी है या जो भी है अनएक्सपेक्टेड ट्विस्ट वो सब ठीक है लेकिन ना कोई ऐसा कहानी में मैंने कल ही एक एग्जांपल दिया था ना कि मैं आई डोंट नो इफ यू वर देयर लास्ट नाइट I was at lack of मैंने I was totally blanked out कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था क्या कहानी थी तो I just gave exactly this exercise to myself and I came up with some wonderful you know but the thing is कि यार ये मतलब some exciting होना चाहिए कुछ भी
Okay, sir.
कहानी एक्साइटिंग करो तुमको मजा आना चाहिए लिखते समय द पॉइंट इज दैट जब लिख रहा है तो तेरे को मजा आना चाहिए if you are enjoying writing that you know the examiner will also enjoy and to hell with this yeah you may not be able to you know fit in all these जो है ना
Yes, sir.
लॉन्ग जर्नी भी होना चाहिए चाइल्डहुड ड्रीम सब सब सारे ये कोई जरूरी नहीं कि सबके सब आ ही जाएंगे ना कहीं पासिंग में आ गए कहीं कुछ फिट कर लेकिन यार बेसिकली द आइडिया इज कि नो यू मेक इट you make it interesting for that's what I was. So honestly, Athar, your story also is not very interesting. It's just okay, you've tried to fit in everything and you've kind of succeeded in that. But there's no fun reading your story, you know. There's no excitement. There's nothing special about these stories. So that is matlab it's again I'm not trying to disappoint you or something. I'm just trying to tell you you know you have to थोड़ा और you have to pull up yourself. तुमको इससे थोड़ा सा बियॉन्ड जाना होगा ना ये कोई भी कर सकता है ना तो कोई भी कर सकता है ऐसे काम नहीं चलेगा थोड़ा स्पेशल करना होगा हर चीज को स्टोरीज में थोड़ा जान आए है ना आई यू गेटिंग पॉइंट
Yes, sir.
ठीक है आगे बढ़ते हैं
Okay. Sir, should I read the question?
This is which one? 5 to 7.
The
Okay.
second one. They call him a mad scientist, but he is set to achieve something phenomenal.
Okay. Right.
The title is The Excellent Scientist.
Hmm.
In 2050, a YouTuber come scientist from Kerala named Dr. Pothan had a huge man with messy hair and long salt and pepper beard who always wears sunglasses is on a mission. He is researching what came first, the chicken or the egg. People in the town call him a mad scientist, mockingly call him Dr. Pothan, Malayalam for a fool, because of the bizarre videos he posts and the wild experiment he does. He has converted a poultry farm into his research lab. Egg yolk samples lie on tables surrounded by eggshells, chicken droppings, and chickens flapping around. In the center stands the Yokulator 3000, a golden egg-shaped time-traveling machine built from old car engine parts, alarm clocks, and hair dryers. He tells to his pet chameleon, Raja, today I am going to write the history. He enters the time traveler and journeys to the prehistoric era. He lands in a jungle covered in omelette and steps into it. Overjoyed, he sees a bird in the tree and asks Dr. Pothan, are you the mother of all chickens? The bird looks at him and flies away. Suddenly, Dr. Pothan hears something rolling down a hill. It's an egg. It rolls down and falls into a pond, soaked by the water, but thrilled. Dr. Pothan dances in joy. Hooray! Finally, I have found the egg. Finally, I have found that the egg came first. He takes the egg and time travel back to the present. He immediately calls the mayor and the press for a grand announcement. As he proudly declares that the egg came first, the egg starts to hatch and comes out a dinosaur. The room goes silent in shock. Even Dr. Pothan is speechless. Dr. Pothan, here, presenting you the Chicanosaurus. The baby dinosaur eats the mayor's hat. Dr. Pothan, താനൊരു പൊട്ടൻ തന്നെ for Malayalam. You are such a fool. You are unleashed chaos again. Dr. Pothan, but a scientific one. Everyone in the room runs for their life. Although Dr. Pothan didn't receive any award for his discovery, the video went viral, gaining 20 billion views on YouTube, making him the most viewed YouTuber in the world.
Okay, nice. So he goes and comes back, no?
Yes, sir.
He takes the egg and time travels back to it.
Yes, sir.
ये अच्छा है, इंटरेस्टिंग है। ये थोड़ा सा अलग है तो कैप्टिवेटिंग, मतलब मेरे को भी हो गया था कि अच्छा क्या हो रहा है, अच्छा क्या हो रहा है, अच्छा देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है, ये फीलिंग आ गई थी। सो दिस इज गुड इनफ टू to begin with. Like you should try and achieve something like this which is unique for हटके exciting, वो मालूम होना चाहिए कि ये पढ़ करके उसको मजा आएगा।
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And what was the time you had given yourself to write that?
Sir, 2050. It's in the beginning.
20 minutes.
Eh? The story.
No. How much time did you take to write this one?
This one I took like half an hour.
Okay. And the
Hello,
previous
sir.
one? And the previous one?
Previous one also approximately same time. 35 minutes, 30 minutes. Like I keep the timer and write.
So now start tightening it up. Huh?
Okay, sir.
Try and achieve this by 20 minutes.
Okay, sir.
You will get there eventually. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Any questions you have, Akhilesh?
No, sir. It's fine.
Okay. Vishal.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
I'm audible?
Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I spent 18 minutes writing each of them. So we'll start. The Insatiable Hunger. Samarth, 24, lean, nerdy, recently finished his bachelor's in food science, and now he's set for his journey to Nigeria, Africa. Since childhood, Samarth shared a very special bond with his mother, since he had no father, neither a sibling. Samarth has always been passionate about chocolates. His mother, who was a teacher in primary school, would buy Samarth different kinds of chocolate to celebrate his achievements, which made him often wonder where they came from and ask questions such as how could something that beautiful in texture and taste could exist. Samarth wanted to research and witness a wild cocoa plant for himself. He was also able to achieve a funding for the same. As he landed, he met his research partner, Ayla, 25, from Poland, who was passionate about trees. As they both headed for their journey to research facility, which was very near to the tropical forest where grew the cocoa trees, Samarth and Ayla hit it off instantly. Weeks later, they got the opportunity to go for a field trip inside the forest, which was led by Dr. Richards, head scientist of the facility, a white man from South Africa. Their objective was to find a wild cocoa tree and understand the natural habitat around it. Deep into the forest, following their routine trail, they finally got a small cocoa tree. Samarth gets emotional as they start their examination.
Suddenly, they get chased by a wild elephant, who in turn is being hunted by poachers. This gets them off their trail into deeper forest, with no idea where they are. As they hide behind the trees, the elephant stops and falls to the ground. They see it was already hit with a dart. The hunters come, cut off its tusks, and leave the elephant to die. Dr. Richard asks them to stay quiet and follow him. They leave the spot. Dr. Richards finds them a safe spot. As Samath was about to fire the flare gun, Dr. Richard tells him not to do so, as the poachers will get them before any help could. So they decide to camp there for the night. They try and set up a fire, but fail. Isla then takes out her Hemingway's novel, The Old Man and the Sea, tore some pages, laid them over the wet wood, and when she lit them up, the wood eventually caught fire. As the sun set, Samath takes out his harmonica and plays a sad, melancholic piece. Next morning, they try and find their way back home when they spot a mother elephant standing beside her dead calf in silence. They leave the place silently in peace.
Okay. Nice. Just a second. ये थोड़ा सा जर्की लगा था मुझे यहाँ पे. As in, you talk of Samarth and his relationship with his mother
Yes,
and all, and describe the mother fairly well here.
yes.
Mother who was a primary teacher in primary school.
I
And,
wanted to start with the mother-son bond and end it with the same.
oh, okay.
Again, we see a mother-son bond.
Yeah.
And the insatiable hunger is the satiable hunger of mother-son bond, the insatiable hunger of the poachers, and the insatiable hunger Samarth has to research.
भाई ये ये थोड़ा ये कुछ ज्यादा हो गया था मतलब ये
I get it.
it's not so easy to but you could have kept the mother alive as in Samar's mother somewhere here somewhere maybe he's missing his mother as
Mm.
all this is happening and
I wanted to mention at the end Samarth's mother again after he saw the elephant, but it hit.
but I think a better proposition would be if somehow you can relate this the elephant mother son relationship and Samar's mother son thing is somewhere directly here because it's a very short piece of passage that you're supposed to write and to establish that connection is very very difficult. It's very but like if even if I'm in the right minds, I might skip it. I might get it, I might not get it.
Mm.
So and understanding that the examiner will definitely not be in his right mind. He'll be under pressure and all. So for him, I think it would be better if he just उसको बना करके दे कि भैया this is what you're kind of eventually even not in as many words but let's say somewhere directly indirectly you just mention it.
Mm.
Sum it up in a way that it automatically reflects the mother-son relationship in animals and in Samarth.
Mm.
So if you intended it.
Yes, sir.
So वो ठीक है अच्छा है. In which ways I like the flow of the thing, except for this jerk here. Suddenly from mother son thing, he immediately in no time he is now packing his bags and leaving for Africa. And यहाँ के बाद फिर जो है all the flow is smooth, everything is perfect. But ये जो इन दोनों पैराग्राफ्स में
ये सर वो एक्चुअली कैरेक्टर के लिए रखा था कि कैरेक्टर क्यों चॉकलेट के लिए पागल है. इट वाज जस्ट अबाउट दैट.
नहीं वो ओके वो भी सही है. नहीं बट हाँ यू राइट. But the problem is कि since you're mentioning mother here so prominently that and the fact that she would get him chocolates and all, but it's more about the mother here than the fact that he ate chocolate. And then ठीक है मतलब थोड़ा सा skewed है. I'm not sure मतलब कि वो मैं शायद समझ भी जाऊँ मतलब रीडर शायद I might not miss all of this but I would suggest make it a little more direct. Make पैसा थोड़ा और direct कर दो better.
It's 414 words though.
हाँ नहीं वो तो करेक्ट है तो मुझे वो पढ़ के ही समझ में आता है कि ये तुम करेक्ट लिख रहे थे. And how much time did you take to write this? 18 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. सही है सही जा रहा है. चलो आते हैं सेकंड पे.
I actually I start very late. Like 5 is the submission time, so I start by 4 because I know कि अगर मैं time छोड़ूंगा तो I'll think to write something better and whatnot. So I try as late as possible. I mean, since the submission time is 5 for this writer.
Okay.
Yeah.
ठीक है. चलो आजा शुरू कर सेकंड.
Yes, sir. The butterfly. Dr. Prem Nathani, 58, senior scientist and professor at Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, has been working on his machine, which can predict global events with most probable accuracy. He's been obsessed with making this machine since his late teens, which is why he completed his BTech, MTech, PhD, and postdoc from this very institute. He doesn't talk much, and when he does, he's known to not stop. While his batchmates and colleagues had served the nation by developing something worthwhile and attainable and living a fulfilling life, Dr. Prem, who had significantly contributed to their work, lived a life of solace and discipline for his dream. One night, after he set his machine up with the latest code and left it on for training, next day he announces in his class to run a trial to predict the nearest future for his students, whose data he had uploaded onto the machine. Later, when his top 3 students, Vikram, Riya, and Keshav, visit his lab with the professor, the machine was up and ready to tell their futures. It tells Vikram will get bit by a bee, Riya to be selected for the internship she applied, and Keshav will barf. Then the students ask professor to ask for the machine to predict his future. The machine predicts Dr. Prem to die today. It was 4 p.m. Everybody goes quiet. Dr. Prem laughs to what stupid machine he's made. And then suddenly, Vikram, who is closing the window, gets bit by a honeybee. Priya receives an email she got selected for the internship. And seeing all this, Keshav barfs. Dr. Prem asks everyone to leave his lab, and as they leave, he asks his machine to predict his future again and again, and all it tells back is that he's going to die. And every time he asks it, the machine replies with an increase in probability 85, 90, 95. Dr. Prem shuts down machine. The first thing that strikes him is to delete all data, since once he dies, people might use it, even steal it. He deletes it all, burns down his papers, and heads towards his quarters. For the first time in years, he opens a bottle of whiskey, drinks it, and sleeps on his chair. Next morning, he wakes up to find himself alive, to which he smiles, get ready for his class, and the man who was always dead inside apparently was smiling all the way to his class. Actually, last line थी वो मतलब फिर से छूट गई थी. It was I wanted to end it with the man who was always in his cocoon was finally out of it.
Yeah, I get it. I figured out the moment he deletes all that, he burns all his papers. I realized, okay, that scientist is dead. अच्छा है, interesting है, in fact अच्छा है. अच्छा है, it's a very intriguing thing and it satisfies you somewhere, that, oh, I'm intelligent, I got it, kind of feeling. So you made me feel intelligent. That's good. अच्छा है.
How much would you
But
like?
yeah, but the thing is, in both of your answers, you haven't mentioned the genres or the or which of the 5 uh, pointers that you're developing, and that is that is important.
I didn't get you, sir. Like in the first question, you're saying that the 5 pointers are
In the first question, so you had to submit the you have to tell the genre. No, which genres are you?
okay.
That I get. Drama, action, adventure, comedy, romance, mysteries. Like
So I just had this question. We also have to mention like okay, finally this is the genre I've written.
that you have to mention somewhere.
Okay.
After the answer, you have to mention.
Okay.
Because I can't make out कि भैया तुमने कौन सा लिखने के लिए तो लिख दिया लेकिन कौन सा 2 genres तुमने hint किया है और तो attempt किया है. And then I will also then sit back and feel if those genres that you have finally mentioned are correctly in place.
Hmm.
So that will carry something.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that input will make a difference.
I-
But I think I will give you again 6.5 for the first one.
Yes.
And maybe a 7 for the second one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Or maybe yeah, a 7. I'll give you a 7. So, एक होता है कि ना you play with the words and everything and you create a marvelous piece of thing. You create a marvel. वो चीज से रह गया.
Hmm. But I followed that thing, sir. Like
Fair enough. I know. See, what you have done is excellent. It's very good because I understand. I have done this. I know how difficult it is to create something. It's not easy at all. You know? It is not easy. I know. I'm not questioning or I'm not disapproving. क्या कहते हैं इसको यार? Disapproving of what you have done. You've done a very good job. All of you have done a very good job. But when it comes to giving numbers, you have to understand कि जो तू फेस कर रहा है वो इंडिया में और एटलीस्ट 5,000 लोग और फेस करेंगे यही स्ट्रेस यही. लेकिन उसी स्ट्रेस में कोई जो 2, 4, 10 जो 30 होंगे बहुत ही रिमार्केबल कुछ तो लिख दिया होगा. मजेदार भी होगा, एक्साइटिंग भी होगा, यूनिक भी होगा, इंट्रिगिंग भी होगा, फ्रेश भी होगा, you know. So and that doesn't judge you. I mean, it's not about you judging. It's just about कि उस दिन किसका दिमाग क्लिक कर गया. Exactly. So you have to prepare yourself to create something. This is very nice. It's not bad. The second one, okay, it's very good, but it's still somewhere. And I wouldn't give you 7.5. I will not give you. I will give you 7. समझ रहा है? लेकिन 7.5 मिल जाए तुझे तो मजा आएगा. और 8 तो बहुत ही रेयर होगा. 8 मेरे से ठीक है. तो लेकिन यही है ना कि पर ये आधा नंबर इधर आधा नंबर उधर करके जो क्यूमुलेटिव होगा ना वही डिफरेंस क्रिएट करेगा. लेकिन हाँ ये है कि अब उसके लिए अलग से प्रेशर मत ले सकते हैं. जो कर रहा है अच्छा कर रहा है, जो नेचुरली हो रहा है उसको फॉलो. प्रेशर लेकर के शायद और परफॉर्मेंस बिगड़ जाता है. तो उतना रिलैक्स रहेगा उतना. डोंट गो फॉर द नंबर. यार मेरे से मत पूछा था सवाल. You know, because I think that's very. I don't like to, you know, because how am I judging is it doesn't matter, you know.
Yes, sir.
Because maybe the person who will finally get the paper, he may be a very different human. You know? He may possibly love your creations, or he may possibly just have an absolute distaste for your kind of. You know? You never know. You know, it's not about that. It's about doing your best. You know? And I'm here to help you out achieve a better. Whatever you've done is very good, but my job is to make you do something better.
Yes, sir.
You know? And that's
But
it.
like, what I mean to say is that it hears the bare minimum of what, like, in terms of communication, in terms of, मतलब
हाँ,
उसमें,
नहीं, see, I would rather point out or get really disappointed if it's really bad. If you haven't put in efforts or you just lazy it, then it's like you're wasting your time, you're wasting mine, and that really pisses me. But none of you are, are getting there. People are working hard. I can see that.
Hmm.
People are working hard and do your best, capabilities. All that you have to do is in the next 10, 15 days, you have to just keep doing better.
yes,
And expect कि भैया on the day of the exam there सब कुछ perfect हो जाए और तुम्हें छक्का मार हर बॉल पे छक्के लग जाए, बस इतने expect है.
yes,
But also मतलब hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. That's it. इतना ही कर
yes,
सकते हैं ना, उससे ज्यादा क्या है.
yes. Thank you.
तो यही है. तो कोई सवाल है पूछ नहीं, तो अदरवाइज विल मूव अहेड.
नहीं sir.
ठीक है जी. अंशुल.
Hi, sir.
Hi अंशुल.
Hi. Okay, so I'll start.
Yeah.
Life is like a box off. Aman and his mother are on their way to their village from the city. Aman is driving the car, his mother in the front, and their luggage at the back. Aman has been depressed and suicidal ever since his father passed away a few months back. His mother has been dealing with the loss of her husband through an increasing dedication to satsang and the sermons she gives there. A deep rift exists between the two. On their way, they see a young couple by the side of the road asking for a lift. After speaking to them and knowing they're going to the same village, Aman lets them in. The couple offers Aman and his mother some chocolates as a token of gratitude. This triggers a memory in Aman, a dream about his childhood where he had received a chocolate for ranking first in a quiz at school. He brought it home for his mother to have and saw that his mother had also kept the same chocolate for him at home. He misses the warmth of his mother's love. His mother declines the chocolate the couple offers. Aman reluctantly takes it but tastes bittersweet knowing that he wasn't sharing it with his mother. When asking what they do, the couple says they just travel around and make art. The guy carries two books, a Hemingway novel, and a notebook he writes in, and the girl carries a harmonica she sings. She plays beautifully. The four travelers make a stop on their way at a beach shack. Sitting on the sand watching the waves come and go, Aman drifts into a deep sleep to the sound of the young girl's harmonious music. An old man emerges from the sea and walks towards the beach. He comes to Aman and brings out his hand full of chocolates. Aman is caught in a trance, unable to move as he realizes this man is his father. He wakes up with a jolt, uneasy and troubled. His mother hugs and caresses him. He realizes there is chocolate in his mouth. He looks at his mother and sees that she is eating one as well. It's good, isn't it? She asks. It really is, Aman agrees. They sit in an embrace and looking out at the waves, grateful and appreciative of the life the chocolate has become a metaphor for.
नहीं, 2 मिनट देंगे. ओके, ठीक है. मतलब ये सैड, हर कोई यार, ये जिसका बाप मर गया हो उसकी कहानी. कल से ही कल या परसों से यही हो रहा है. बहुत
Yeah,
लोग यही वाले लिख रहे हैं. थोड़ा अच्छे इंटरेस्टिंग मैंने हैप्पी वाले चीज लिखो यार.
yeah,
ऐसा कुछ नहीं, जो दिमाग में आया वही लिखो, अच्छे से लिखो, बात नहीं, बट ट्राई करो कि. But and also because you guys have done some wonderful stuff, in the past, especially you also. So I would suggest, but ऐसा कुछ नहीं है यार, जो है सही है, अच्छा है, अच्छा है. तो ऐसा कोई बहुत ऐसा आउटस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ
yeah, yeah.
नहीं. Although
Okay.
I wouldn't really cut anything for this, but I would give you that extra 1.5 number that I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I think I just tried to like blend all the elements that are given the question together, and in that, like a core of the story went missing.
I'll give you a trick here, all of you. Listen to this very, very patiently and ध्यान से. But हमारे एक और एक्सरसाइज होता है, अब शायद नहीं होता है वो, शायद बता दिया गया सिलेबस से. मेरे टाइम पे होता था, राइट, एक्शन सीक्वेंस. Like yesterday I mentioned कि हमारा एक डायलॉग एक्सरसाइज होता है. The idea is to explore the narrative through that. There's this action sequence that used to happen, and the idea was to create a sequence where action is involved. Okay, now action का तो बहुत मीनिंग है भाई, एक्शन इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है। तो जब सिलेबस डिजाइन किया गया तो एक्शन का मतलब होता था भाई हार्डकोर बॉलीवुड वाला एक्शन, इसके जहाँ फाइट हो रहा है, जंप्स हो रहे हैं, कूद रहा है, भाग रहा है, कैमरा एंगल्स थोड़े अलग से हैं, और उसको एक्सप्लोर करके 16 mm पे शूट होता था। ठीक है, लेकिन हम में से कोई इंटरेस्टेड नहीं था यार इस तरह की चीज करने का, क्योंकि हमें लगता था ये बॉलीवुड है और ये बहुत ही बकवास वाला बॉलीवुड है, कौन करे। तो हम ना थोड़ा क्रिएटिव हो जाते थे। क्या करते थे, इसमें मेरा एक बैचमेट रहता था, उसने बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कुछ किया था। तो उसने बहुत बहुत ही कमाल की एक फिल्म बनाई। लेकिन इस पूरे फिल्म में ना दो लोग बस टेबल के किनारे बैठे हैं, टेबल के अक्रॉस बैठे हुए, और कुछ चल रही है उनके बीच में, और कुछ तो टेंशन का माहौल, मुझे याद नहीं एग्जैक्टली। बट उस पूरे टाइम पे एक बंदा अपने फिंगर्स पे पेंसिल को गोल गोल घुमा रहा है। गोल गोल जो घुमा दे ना फिंगर से, वो करते हैं, जैकलिंग करते हैं, जो भी करते हैं। तो वो बंदा वो कर रहा है, एक बंदा, वन ऑफ द कैरेक्टर। सब कुछ हो गया, फिल्म खत्म हो गई, सब कुछ हो गया, फिर असेसमेंट हुआ। तो एग्जामिनर जो था जेडी पूछा, भाई क्या ये क्या किया तूने, ये इसमें एक्शन कहा तूने, क्या किया तूने? तो था बहुत स्मार्ट है, तो बोला भाई सर आप मिस कर गए क्या, कमाल का एक्शन किया मैंने, देखो फिंगर तो एक्शन ही तो चल रहा है। और उसके ना उसके दो तीन इंसर्ट्स लिए थे, कभी इस एंगल से, तो उस एंगल से, कभी ऐसे करके, कभी ऐसे करके। तो बेसिकली उसने कहानी तो पूरी जड़ दी थी, अच्छी कहानी बनाई थी, इंटरेस्टिंग सी कहानी बनाई थी। और वो क्राइटेरिया जो था कि एक्शन होना चाहिए, उसको भी रखा था, लेकिन उसको ऐसे ऐसे रखा था कि उसको ना मतलब कि तुम कैसे निगेट नहीं कर सकते, वो भी एक्शन है ना। तो एक्शन, डूइंग सम काइंड ऑफ juggling of the pencil with the finger. So what I'm trying to say is, so he got good marks in that exercise. So although the jury was not very happy initially, but he was convinced with his answer and his conviction. So what I'm trying to say is, you could take that liberty as a चार पांच options हैं. See, I think you have done that actually. The guy carries two books, a Hemmingway novel and I don't know, book he writes in. And the girl carries a harmonica, she plays beautifully. ये एक लाइन में तूने दो चीज डाल दिया और उसके उस पे स्ट्रेस नहीं दिया। ये मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि अब उसको हेमिंगवे नॉवल मेंशन किया, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि अब तुम्हारे फिल्म तुम्हारी स्टोरी में अब हेमिंगवे पे भी एक चर्चा होनी चाहिए कि कोई बंदा साइड से जाते थे बोल रहा है यार वो तुमने पढ़ा क्या, तो ओल्ड मैन सी, और वो ऐसा बकवास जिसका कोई मतलब नहीं है तुम्हारी, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। तो it's a very interesting thing that is done. This is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to really, put in all of these जो markers हैं. Sorry, effectively, like if you have used most of them, is good enough. कुछ को ऐसे पासिंग में ही डाल दिया है और आगे बढ़ गई।
Okay.
तो you don't have to. But the idea is कि बाकी की चीजों को यूज करके जो तूने स्टोरी बनाया वो इंटरेस्टिंग होनी चाहिए,
हाँ.
so then you can afford to just keep one or two in the ऐसे आते जाते में पासिंग में करके दिखा दिया।
Yeah.
So बहुत लोग ना उस स्ट्रेस में आए थे कि वो I have to put in everything, I have to mix, and everything has to make some sense in the story, and everything has to contribute. All these markers have to contribute to the story. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं, the story interesting. Like what you've done is a good thing, basically. What
Okay. Okay. So I think I'll try to focus more on the uses of the objects rather than, sorry, the story rather than the uses of the objects.
That's what I'm.
But
That's what I'm.
yeah,
You
I
just
thought of the
meant.
object
Yeah.
first. Hmm.
So what you've done is not a bad job. It's just that it's not so very refreshing. I've read this 10,000 times. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so okay.
Okay. For the second one, I chose the second option, nice guys don't finish last. But the nice guys finish last, but this one won't because he's Breaking Bad. Um, the childhood of a bully. Akash was standing in the hallway of his school, organizing his locker and taking some books out, when out of nowhere he felt his shorts come down. It was Siddharth, the notorious bully of his class, who had pulled down his shorts from him. He stood next to Akash with his gang, laughing at him, while all the students in the entire hallway watched Akash. He stood there, ashamed and embarrassed in his underwear. Even the girl he had a crush on was standing there. Akash told himself then and there that he was not going to tolerate this anymore. He lifted his shorts back up, took out his belt, and started hitting Siddharth with it. Swinging it with such mighty force, and his friends all ran away. Soon, Akash and Siddharth were called to the principal's office. The principal scolded Akash for belting Siddharth. When Akash told the principal what Siddharth had done, she said that was wrong too, but it wasn't as bad a thing to do as belting someone. Akash had physically hurt Siddharth, while Siddharth had only socially embarrassed Akash. Akash was detained for the day as a punishment. He spent the evening trying to think of ways he could take revenge on the principal. He waited outside the principal's office as she worked on a laptop, and when he saw her leave to go to the toilet, he saw his chance and went inside. He opened her mailbox and sent an email to the whole school, students and teachers, from her mail ID, which was a love letter to Siddharth and a list of reasons why she wanted to marry him. The principal only found out about the email the next day and, sure that it could have only been Akash, called his parents to school and rusticated him. Akash's parents took him home and slapped and beat him for his behavior. Akash was furious. He spent the night trying to get revenge against his parents. When they woke up in the morning, his parents found the house in a sorry state. All the food rations were spilt on the floor and walls. There was urine on the walls and poop across the floor. A few stray dogs ran and barked around the house. Akash was nowhere to be seen. They found a note on the fridge from him that said that he had run away and was never going to come back.
ये अच्छा है, ये इंटरेस्टिंग, ये बहुत ही विजुअल है. I could see every, I could feel the pain of Akash. So this works. No?
Mhm. I think Ismail, I could probably like dilute some of the things I made Akash do a little more. I could tone it down. Now that like I'm reading it after having written it in the morning, it feels like it's a little too much, I think.
No, not at all. I think this is correct. There's nothing too much in cinema, or
Okay.
everything is right and everything is wrong. So there's nothing about that. So,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
I kind of like this, and it's because you see the idea is with all these actions that Akash is doing, especially towards the end in the house,
Hmm.
it's only reflecting what Akash's character is, and which
Hmm.
is what the question demands. तो तुम तो correct कर रहे हो, मतलब तुम see,
Yeah.
in fact it's good. हाँ,
Yeah.
थोड़ा सा ये है, थोड़ा सा है कि if let's say if Akash is capable of doing all of this,
Yeah.
so I'm sure they all know. I'm sure the bully also knows Akash. I'm sure Siddharth also has known Akash. You know, so ये आकाश कैन डू, बिकॉज ओवर अचानक से एक दिन उठ करके तो ऐसा नहीं किया होगा.
Hmm.
सो
Yeah.
वहां पे फिर देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन, इफ आई थिंक रियली टू हार्ड, भाई
Uh,
सिद्धार्थ उसको फिर बुली करेगा भी क्या, जानते हो कि आकाश क्या कर सकता है.
hmm.
तो वो
Yeah.
थोड़ा सा एक पॉइंटर है, वो भी बहुत फेंटली ऐसा है फिलहाल, सब कुछ
Hmm.
तो ऐसा नहीं.
I guess it works that like quite a bit of action is also happening in this.
Yeah, quite a bit of acting. Let's say Akash had been transferred or had joined this recently for
Hmm.
some strange reason that you mentioned here, for some reason do not really define, and that reason maybe comes out here somewhere,
Uh,
you know because of Akash's temperament that he's actually kicked out of the
hmm.
school earlier, then it would have made a full circle,
Yeah.
and that would have also justified ki Siddharth, or for that matter the principal, uh, did not really know Akash,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
and then all this action seemed pretty confusing. So
Yeah.
तो यही है, बट ठीक है, अच्छा है, मतलब हाँ वो कर देता तो फिर आई वुड हैव
Yeah, that would have
वाह
tied.
मोमेंट।
Hmm. Okay, I've noted that.
सी वही ना, अब देख, अब ये मेरे दिमाग में कैसे आया, जो भी मैंने सजेस्ट किया, ये कहाँ से आया? पढ़ने के बाद ही आया, अभी
हाँ
बैठे बैठे ही है। तो यही तो तेरे को भी, तुझे भी यही करना है, मतलब वो जब आंसर लिख रहा है या लिख चुका है, maybe
so,
just
but
spare that
sir, oh, okay, I had
two
a question.
minutes, you know,
When
think
we're
about it. हाँ, yeah.
when we're writing in the paper, and let's say we have written a sentence and then we read it again and we're like, no, I want to make some changes. So because we've written it, like the only way to make changes like is cutting the word, and then that doesn't look good, right? So
See, as long as that cutting and that, you know, kind of uh, uh, making it dirty is justified, then you should do better. If you realize, yeah, there's a better way of presenting the story or putting it forward, you better
yeah.
cut the whole thing and redo it, but वो justified होना चाहिए, cutting it.
So just by
I
the
think
nature of that, it reduces like the scope of making any kind of mistake or wanting to change something very, very less.
but usually ऐसा होता नहीं है, because you know in that space when you've already begun something, you don't have too much time to think. This will not even strike you. This could have been better. I don't think people, you know, redo the entire thing while they're answering, because it doesn't strike them right there. Strikes them maybe once when they return from the exam or something. By the evening, they realize, hey, I wish ये भी होता।
Hmm.
So it doesn't really work like that. But ठीक है, उस समय अगर आ जाए और करते करते एक आध लाइन कट कट कर सकते हो, वो तुम करते हैं।
Ah, okay.
But if you get something, you know, if some idea strikes you and it's really good, I would still suggest cut the last paragraph, whatever, that will help you. Redo the last bit, you know, whatever. But
Hmm.
but the idea should be really good. The recent idea, the next
Hmm.
one. So अच्छा है, but ठीक है. How much time
Okay.
did you take to write this thing?
Both things took like 20 minutes each.
Oh,
Actually,
that's fine.
the second one took 20 minutes, the first one took 15 minutes.
Second one took 20.
Yeah, and I think that's why the second one was a little
और
bit.
भाई मेरे, again, don't miss out. Don't. Why have you not mentioned the genre that you picked? Why have you not mentioned
Yeah. Yeah,
the
I'll
second वाला का जो भी था?
yeah, I'll keep that in mind next time. That was a mistake.
Yes, because that is a part of your answer.
हाँ.
And I don't know, maybe कोई सनकी रहेगा checking करने वाला, तो he might just have placed that one half a number or one number for that stupid thing that you have to mention.
Yeah.
I'll tell you again another example from my life. You know? So this is not from filmmaking. This is before filmmaking. So I did my graduation in microbiology.
Hmm.
तो तो मेरा ना मेरी मेरी बहुत फेवरेट एक टीचर थी वहाँ पे कॉलेज में। तो वो मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगती थी, वो मुझे बहुत प्यार करती थी, ठीक है। तो एक बार मैं एग्जाम दिया था, तो उसने ना एग्जाम में पेपर्स, वो इन हाउस वाले एग्जाम होते
Yeah.
हैं, नॉट द फाइनल बोर्ड्स, आई मीन लाइक दोस मिड टर्म्स काइंड ऑफ। So she
Hmm.
gave me a tip. She said, "Ki, Abhinav, you should do one thing. Whenever you're writing an answer, in the end, just write which book are you referring that answer from, or which book have you referred to while writing the answer." I said, "Okay, fair enough." So for every topic, every subject in microbiology, we would usually go for 3 or 4 books, you know. So whenever I'm writing the answer, I used to just नीचे में लिख देता था courtesy uh, XYZ book. You know. After every answer, that became my habit, sorts, you know. And then one of the next year midterms, an external jury came, and he actually loved my presentation. यार ये कौन है जो ना एंड में ये courtesy करके वो बुक का नाम दे देता है कि ना for me to refer to if at all I'm. And that's, see, अब ये कितने साल पुरानी मेमोरी आ गई दिमाग में ना, These small things make a difference. It
Hmm.
makes it makes your presentation a complete presentation. It's just not the text of the answer. It's just not the story of the answer. It's the entire presentation which will fetch you something. You see. So use these things. It's a very human psychology thing for us. Don't miss out on these, small inputs, small things. Question
So
में
if
मांगा है तो नीचे लिख दिया फिल्म ये स्टोरी खत्म हुई लिख दिया genres intended genres जो भी तो तुम्हें तो चुनो और
so
yeah so
I could write the genre that they've asked in the question, and then on top of that, I can also write at the end like courtesy wild strawberries, Ingmar Bergen, for example.
नहीं why are you borrowing something from Bergman? Are you borrowing something
Yeah, like
from Wild
the
Strawberry?
structure of the story was inspired by
नहीं
that.
नहीं 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 don't do that. वो यहाँ पे मत करो ignore करो वो मत करो until ki it is a direct reference until you're making it sure that people realize ki it's coming straight from a
Hmm.
film
Okay.
until then you have to feel it's questioning your imagination
Yeah.
otherwise it's totally not working for you.
Hmm. Okay, got it.
But if say they have asked for examples or say they have asked for some references, then you definitely must.
Hmm.
But as for the questions requirement here, they've asked for which pick two genres, so you must mention something. Okay, this is the answer, and the genres that I have selected are or tried to incorporate are so and so.
Yeah, I won't forget that next time.
Yeah. Cool. So should we move on to the next one? Or do you have any more questions, Anshul?
No, I think I got answers to everything.
ठीक है, Manaswini, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Acha, Manaswini, can you just give me half a minute? I'll just go get some water. Okay,
Yeah,
just half a
yeah.
minute. Just. Hey, Manaswini.
Yes, sir.
So, शुरू करें?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, चलो.
Europe by the lake. Himanshu and Tamanna are sprawled on a picnic blanket next to a lake near Himanshu's house. It is a clear spring day, birds chirping, the sky bright and the clouds drifting. The two are talking with leisure. Tamanna tells Himanshu she wants to get away, to see a different country, experience a different culture. Himanshu sits up and, gazing out, recounts backpacking in Europe right after college with little money, but a mind hooked on adventure. It was only a month, but felt like a lifetime. She keeps her head in his lap and asks him to tell her all about it. He tells her it was a childhood dream, sparked when his mother gifted him Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises and a movable feast for his 15th birthday. Spain and Paris were making him itch to go. He could only afford to stay in the cheapest motels in Paris and recounted that one time there was an art piece of chewed bubblegum on the ceiling. Laughing to the point of tears, he said, I don't even know how one could get up there like that. He told her how he followed a troupe of street musicians for a week who were living in the next room altogether. He'd sometimes accompany on the handpan or tambourine. They even taught him how to play the harmonica a little. He gesticulated with his hands in the air as if playing one, making Tamanna giggle. He recalled staying up at nights, playing cards with those guys, and drinking cheap liquor, and only eating bread for breakfast. On his last day, he got couverture chocolates from the boulangerie next door for them. He recalled with some joy and pride how the guys were absolutely kicked about it. He then recounted Spain. His face was alive and expressive as he described witnessing his first bullfight. At first, we thought the man was about to get it, but no, he was so skilled, Tamanna, he moved swift like a dancer. Oh, but the bull, the sight of the bull shredded at the end, makes a grown man gasp. Himanshu, Himanshu, a boy of 20 comes calling. He finds his little brother crouched by the lake, alone and talking to himself. The afternoon was darkening to eventide. I know it's hard, boy, but we've got to go, he tells Himanshu, a boy of no more than 15. He grabs his novels in his right hand. His brother holds his left hand, which is trembling, as they walk together to their mother's wake.
Okay. Okay. तो एक मिनट मुझे एक मिनट यार. Oh. So I'm assuming these two, Himanshu and Tamanna, are like teenage
No,
characters.
sir. No. So this was a make-believe that Himanshu had made up. So Himanshu is a 15-year-old boy, and he was by the lake alone, talking to himself and sort of escaping through his imagination the difficult reality of his life at the time.
Right. क्यों ऐसे confusing चीज दिखती है यार? देख, तो see what यही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि तूने लिखा है, अच्छा लिखा है, मजेदार लिखा है, लेकिन the fact that it confused me and I want to go back again to see where did I miss what. It is not good for you right away or facing a even if it is a very good write-up actually, I must admit, but it made me feel कि अरे यहाँ क्या मिस हो गया यार, कुछ समझ में कुछ तो मिस हुआ, क्या हुआ पता नहीं, समझ में नहीं आया.
Sir, I have mentioned it toward the end. He tells Himanshu, a boy of no more than 15. And
नहीं
I
वो
also,
नहीं वो
yeah.
नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, वांशी की बात नहीं, फैक्ट कि तमन्ना तो है ही नहीं ना से.
Do you think that I should make that a little bit more clear that perhaps it was a bit
No, I don't want
ambiguous?
you. No, I don't want you to do that, especially in this passage. That it's actually very good. It's not a bad thing. It's just that maybe it's just it's my bad. It's just a miss
Actually,
on my
sir,
part.
yeah, sir, actually, the prompt said that there needs to be a twist at the end. So, that's why, like, I added the last bit because it was not like from the beginning we are expecting something like that to happen. So just that, but I'll keep that in mind and I'll try to make it a little bit more clear next time.
No, I think you've done a very good. I think you've done a very good job. It's just the problem है ना, तू बहुत literary है. Like getting a point.
I understand that, yes,
The
sir.
problem is that it's a very good thing, but यहाँ पे I'm not too sure if this might be the best thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe cut down on your expression,
Right,
your style of writing.
right, all right.
The idea अभी यहाँ पे idea हमारे सर पे भैया क्रैक कर. तो मैं impressed भी हूँ but I'm confused भी हूँ क्योंकि कुछ तो मिस हुआ है. And वो कुछ मिस हुआ वो कोई एक लाइन में नहीं मिलेगा. तेरा तेरा तरीका तेरा स्टाइल ही ऐसा है कि आप रीड थ्रू द एंटायर थिंग वंस अगेन टू रियलाइज वो वी हैव नॉट थिंक इट्स इंटेंडेड.
सर वो
तो
बस या आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर सेइंग। मैंने बस एक ही लाइन में क्लैरिफाई किया, तो मे बी आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट कैन गेट कंफाउंडिंग। जो वो लाइन है, बॉय ऑफ नो मोर देन 15 ही ग्रैब्स हिज नॉवेल्स, एंड उससे पहले जो लिखा है कि ही फाइंड्स हिज लिटिल ब्रदर क्राउच्ड बाय द लेक अलोन एंड टॉकिंग टू हिमसेल्फ। तो मुझे लगा कि टॉकिंग टू हिमसेल्फ वुड क्लैरिफाई दैट तमन्ना एंड नन ऑफ दीज एक्सपीरियंसेस एक्चुअली एग्जिस्ट एंड दैट्स हिज एस्केपिज्म, बट आई कीप दैट इन माइंड कि
हाँ
हाँ, तो आई कीप दैट इन माइंड कि थोड़ा
तो
और क्लैरिटी क्रिएट कर दूं।
आई थिंक यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा क्लैरिटी, यू राइट, ये यहाँ पे तुमको और क्लैरिफाई कर देना चाहिए था, जस्ट फॉर द ईज ऑफ द
राइट,
एग्जाम।
यस सर।
तो
मुझे
बट अच्छा
आई
है।
आई या मुझे ना सर यही लग रहा था कि इफ आई ओवर क्लैरिफाई एंड ओवर एक्सप्लेन, देन मतलब इट्स लाइक वो शो डोंट टेल वाला चीज फिर शायद खत्म हो जाता, तो
और एक
लाइक
बात
आई
सुन मैं बताता हूँ, एक और
या
इंटरेस्टिंग सी बात, जब हम फिल्म बनाते हैं तो हम भी बहुत सोचते हैं, तुमको तो 20 मिनट में सोचना है, हमें तो पूरा टाइम मिलता है, 20 दिन सोचते हैं, फिर हम स्क्रिप्ट लिखते हैं, या और भी 2 महीने सोचते हैं फिर स्क्रिप्ट लिखते हैं, या शायद 6 महीने सोचते हैं। तो ना हमने बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो हमें लगता है कि ये बहुत सही जा रहा है, एकदम करेक्ट है, सटल है, परफेक्ट है, ऑडियंस ले लेगी। बट बाय प्रैक्टिस यू रियलाइज कि नहीं लेती ऑडियंस, इतनी इजीली नहीं लेती चीजों को, तो तुमको कहीं ना कहीं डायरेक्टली एट टाइम्स और इनडायरेक्टली मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स हाईलाइट करना ही पड़ता है वो चीज जो तुमको बताना, नहीं तो ऑडियंस टेंड्स टू पिक एंड चूज whatever that audience in that member of the audience wants to pick and choose. You can't really decide once the film is right there on the screen. उसके बाद it's not your film, it's their film. They are taking their story out of it, until you have really highlighted what you want to, be passed on to the audience, what you want them to pick and choose. So, and even if you're highlighting, you think किस बहुत subtle है, लेकिन इतनी से ज्यादा करूंगी तो बहुत spoon feeding हो जाएगा. It doesn't really happen. They have to, because they are also imaginative people, So and rest assured, we're not masters of channeling their imagination or controlling their imagination, fully at this stage. So maybe तुझे लग रहा है कि हाँ they are going right, बट हो सकता है कि वो कहीं और चीज से, कोई वर्ड से ट्रिगर होकर कहीं और इमेजिनेशन में तेरे कैरेक्टर के साथ कहीं और पहुंच चुके हैं, ना। सो अगर कोई चीज तू इतना सटल रखेगी, या जैसे तुझे लग रहा है कि हाँ यहाँ शायद एक लाइन और ऐड करके थोड़ा और डिफाइन कर देना चाहिए था, तो वो तो एक्चुअली कर देना चाहिए था,
ऑलराइट, ओके सर।
बिकॉज 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 एक तो यहाँ पे हम एग्जाम फेस कर रहे हैं इसलिए भी, और ऐसे भी करना चाहिए क्योंकि शायद बहुत बहुत रेयर फ्यू होंगे जिनको एग्जैक्टली कॉन्टेक्स्ट। So until you're doing this for a very elite group of people, that's a different story. But the idea is कि अभी तो खैर in this case तो हम मान के चलते हैं कि उसका जो है वो eliteness तो नहीं होता, तो खूब हो तो ये बात को समझ। Also because he's facing a range of students, he's facing a range of people like you, facing somebody who is like somebody who uses extremely simple sentences, yet very creative, very imaginative. While someone who's just on the other end of the spectrum, so he's baffled, honestly. So in that situation, I would suggest make it easy for him, for him to give you really good marks. हाँ,
ओके
लेकिन
सर।
बाद में जैसे एफटीआई में होने के बाद अगर कुछ स्क्रिप्ट लिख रही है या कुछ स्टोरी लिखना है, तब तो ये बहुत अच्छा, या इससे भी अच्छा हो सकता है, और सेटल कर सकते तो कर दो चीजों को, और ट्विस्टेड या स्क्यूड कर सकते तो कर दो, आई वुडंट माइंड।
राइट, ओके सर।
बट be mindful right now, possibly the intention is something, so
यस सर।
but ठीक है, since I liked the passage, I even spoke to you about all this in details. अगर मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा होता था ये पूरा जो स्ट्रक्चरिंग है तेरा, जो कॉम्पोजिशन है, तो मैं तो इतना बात भी नहीं करता। फिर मैं मन में सोचता था यार ठीक है आगे बढ़ते हैं यार, 10 में से 6, 5 दे दूंगा, 5.5 दे दूंगा, ऐसे सोच के आगे बढ़ता था। बड़ा अच्छा है। ठीक है, लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन।
Okay. The Taming of the True. Okay, so for this one, I've taken the prompt. Nice guys finish last. Well, this guy won't, as he's Breaking Bad. The Taming of the True. Atul and Aranya could not be more different. Atul was simple, sensible, and a little awkward. Aranya was dreamy, wild, and elusive. They met at a house party as they had mutual friends. The moment Atul saw the girl with the messy curly hair, chunky black frames, and a charming smile, he was in love. He started visiting the bookstore where she worked and tried to chat her up, asking for recommendations, etc. Since he was persistent, she finally recommended one of her favorites. He arrived the next day, eyes heavy with dark circles, and handed her the book full of underlines and annotations. He read it in one night and annotated for me. She confessed defensively to her friends when they asked her why she finally went out with him if she was not into him at all. Atul and Aranya would hang out from time to time, not unlike friends. Aranya introduced him to her world of art, music, and imagination, and he was mostly her rock, always there for her, even as she took him for a ride, often going out with her other paramours, and often calling him to drive her home every other night when she was drunk. He smiled wan and fessed up to his friends. She plays me like a fiddle, knowing full well he'd lay his life for her if he could. He bores me to a snore. She reviewed him to her friends, unsuspecting that she might be hiding for him more feelings than one. Atul's friends came up with a plan. They explained to him that if he wants to get the girl, he's going to have to break bad, as nice guys finish last. That girls wild and haughty as Aranya could only be tamed like a shrew, like the Shakespeare play. It's textbook, Atul. All the men agreed. Though Atul is uncomfortable, he goes ahead with the ruse. Whenever he'd see Aranya now, he'd act callous and cold. Whenever he came to her bookshop now, he'd bring books like Kama Sutra for the Modern Lover or How to Satisfy a Girl to the Checkout, where he'd meet Aranya's shocked and disapproving gaze with a blithe remark like, "Nothing personal, Aranya, but you know there's plenty other fish in the sea. Lots for a man to experience out there," winking. When one of their common friends hosts a house party, Atul pulls out the trump card. Aranya catches him hands on with another woman he has brought to the party, a fake date to provoke Aranya. She's unable to sleep that night, tossing and turning. She herself is surprised by her seething jealousy and hurt. She realizes she misses the old Atul and in fact truly enjoyed her time with him, as he listened and understood her like no other. That perhaps her fear of constancy and boredom was a fear of normalcy in relationships, something she had never witnessed, as she herself grew up in a broken home. It is raining out. In spite of that, she decides to go to Atul and confess her feelings. She feels an urgency. She finds him already at her door. He is drenched and looks glum. He confesses how, in trying to earn her affection, he was in fact only taming the true and real Atul. A little tired, he says he is after all a simple, sorted, and uninteresting man. There, out with the truth. I can't play these games anymore. I cannot force you to fall for me. I give up. Just don't go out with those jerks, okay? They don't deserve you. You're too precious for that. He tucks her hair behind her ear and is about to leave. Atul, wait. She stops him. You haven't been the only one taming the true, and kisses him. They both smile, a little in disbelief, a lot in love. She takes his hand, he follows her in.
Beautiful. It's just beautiful. Just wonderful. What a composition. मजा आ गया, बहुत अच्छा है.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Just give me a second. Why would Aranya's friend say, or kind of uh, warn him not to go with Atul or something like that? Where would that?
No, Aranya acts as if she's not into Atul at all. So they're like, why did you go out with him if he's such a bore?
Oh, and a more curious question: why are both of them kind of pretending so much?
Sir, I think like in modern relationships, um, people are not upfront even to themselves, let alone the other person. So, especially in today's world where so much of our emotions are being driven by dopamine and vasopressin, and we're always chasing the next high, I think we can sometimes ignore our needs for what we think we want, but it's not actually what we want. Like sometimes we fall into toxic relationships or friendships because they feel safer than an actual safe relationship.
And,
Mm,
tell me
I
one thing, huh? Yeah, right.
and I have mentioned in the end also where Aranya kind of realizes that what she was, arrogantly professing as Atul's boredom or lack of excitement was really just her fear of a stable relationship because she had never witnessed a stable relationship in her life because she comes from a broken home.
True. Okay, now tell me one thing. Uh, is this correctly fitting in your story?
I think this Breaking Bad part is sort of Atul's outward transformation, where he's no longer the nice, stable guy who's sticking around for Aranya. So, where his friends sort of convince him to change. And sir, I think nice guys finish last is also a very common phrase, which is used in dating scenarios to describe men who don't get the girl at the end of the day. And it's the bad boys, quote unquote, that
But then, yeah,
people think that women are attracted to. So
but
it's
he
just
gets a
my
girl.
take.
But
Yeah,
he
so it's
gets.
my take on that.
Okay, ठीक है, ठीक. हाँ नहीं ठीक है, ठीक है, सही है. सही है यार, सही है. अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है. तो और कोई सवाल है तो पूछ ले.
यस सर, बस एक ही सवाल था कि जिन क्वेश्चंस में स्पेसिफाइड नहीं है कि यू हैव टू पिक सिलेक्टेड जॉनर्स, लाइक जिसमें जॉनरा मेंशन्ड ही नहीं है, तो क्या हमें उस क्वेश्चन में भी जॉनरा मेंशन करना है टू आवर
नहीं
स्टोरी?
नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
राइट.
When they're not
ओके.
asking, why would you?
ऑलराइट. ओके.
Why will you do that and maybe add another? If he doesn't agree with you, then you think it's crime, you think it's thriller, you think it's humor. He doesn't find the humor. तो फंस जाएगी तो क्यों कर? So,
ऑलराइट.
don't.
ओके.
If they have not asked, but if they have asked, you better. ठीक है, चलो करते हैं. Yes, enough. Is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Great.
So I have not mentioned the genre here, but the genre is slice of life.
Okay. दो चुनने थे ना.
Okay, for the first question.
हाँ तो
No,
first
it's
question.
written, sir, one with two genres. So it was written in the question, one or two genres.
अच्छा, okay, sir. ठीक.
Yes, yes, sir. Uh, A Tale of Doubts and Dreams. Vedika is in her dreamland. Just a second, sir. PDF. Yeah. Yes. Vedika is in her dreamland, the city of Paris. Exhausted and sleep deprived from the long flight from Mumbai, the 18-year-old, beady-eyed and vibrant with life, is all set to be an animation student at La Femes, Europe's most prestigious film school. When Vedika was growing up, she would spend hours hooked to the television, watching reruns of Disney animation films. I wish I could create a world like this, she would be heard saying excitedly to her mother when she was 6 years old. She grew up in a liberal household that supported her deepest ambitions. Both her parents were doctors. Talent alone can never suffice dreams, which Vedika had in plenty, spending hours drawing, years drawing, and collecting as much information as she could about animation. Yet, without the financial backing of her parents, it would have been difficult to make it to La Fenice. As the days went by, she slowly settled into the city. Even though she was scared about making new friends at film school, it didn't take her much effort as there were common passions and interests to talk about, including a strong shared it's actually hatred. For some reason, it has become love, including a strong shared hatred for AI generated art and animation. Vedika grew close to Betty, a 19-year-old French girl. She was a renowned playwright couple's daughter. She was a frequent visitor at Betty's when she'd decide not to sleep at the hostel. Betty's mother, Paulette, in addition to being an amazing writer, was also an amazing cook. She treated Vedika like her own daughter and would treat her to tasty French delicacies. She would always ensure that she got free tickets to her plays. When Vedika was not hanging out with Betty, she would walk on the streets of Paris, watching musicians perform, playing harmonica on the pavement. Old men would put up bookshops in small alleys selling classics like Dostoevsky and Hemingway. Vedika's guilty pleasure was the pastry shop right opposite the Louvre, which served amazing chocolate pastries. Yet, amidst all such freedom and new experiences, Vedika felt something amiss. A sense of desolation gripped her. Away from her own people, away from her country, she couldn't really call Paris home. It could never match up to home. She could see the racism in the French natives' eyes, even though she hadn't experienced any incident as such. She realized her dreamland could never really imagine a match up to the imagination she cooked up as a 6-year-old. But she was too scared to miss home and too scared to tell her parents about her doubts.
Just give it. What was the genre of the film?
It's a slice of life.
Slice of. It's very nice. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. अभी genre ही ऐसा है कि इसमें everything is justified. No, anything can be a part. It's very nice.
Thank you, sir.
And very intelligently you kind of checked all the boxes also. But my point is again, उसमें और एक क्या पार्ट था क्वेश्चन में? सॉरी
सर उसमें
अच्छा,
उसमें
बस
ये
ये
हाँ सर कि वो सारे जो पॉइंट्स है वो डिटेल्स उसे इंटीग्रेट करना है आंसर में और वो जॉनर स्पेसिफिक आंसर लिखना है सर.
ठीक है, अच्छा है, आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Thank you, sir. हाँ. So, sir, for the second question, I chose the mad scientist who makes a breakthrough, like makes a phenomenal breakthrough. It's called Cats Out of the Bag. Praveen is a man in his late 40s. He's a scientist specializing in behavioral biology. He was also a brilliant engineer. In the past, he has made headlines for publishing papers on how animals behave when they sense a shift in climate or temperature. These findings help policymakers to mitigate climate disasters. Despite being respected in the scientific community for his brilliant mind, Praveen had a reputation for being called the mad scientist for his antics. Without any notice, he resigned from the Indian Institute of Research, deserting his students in the middle of their doctoral thesis. He decided to lock himself inside his lab, not even allowing his wife Ria to enter. "I need a week, Ria, just a week," he said to his wife. "Oh, and yes, I need the cat and its food. Leave my food outside the lab door every day," he added. "You are not going to dissect the cat or something, na, Praveen?" his wife asked. I'm not a murderer. Just do as I say, Praveen assured Ria. All the necessary arrangements were made. Praveen's lab had everything, including a bathroom where he would bathe every day. He began the work. Praveen inserted a catheter in the cat's neck carefully so as to not hurt it. The catheter was inserted into a computer. The computer had software that could read its cells' movements. Based on this information, Praveen created a device that would be able to translate the cat's meows into English. The device was essentially a loudspeaker with a translator chip attached. During work, the cat would often want to go out, but Praveen would not allow it freedom, and he did not mind it scratching him. He did not want his work to get compromised in any way. It took him less than a week to complete the project, exactly 5 days. He was ahead of his own promise to his wife. It was time for the big reveal as to what the cat would say. Praveen gathered everybody, including his wife, renowned media persons, and scientists in the lab. Praveen's maid went around giving tea and coffee to the people attending. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for what this cat has to say to us. Praveen beams to the audience. Praveen places the loudspeaker in front of the cat. The cat meows loudly. Immediate translation happens. Everybody's face drops after hearing what the cat just said. The maid drops the tray from her hand and runs out of the lab. Ria, Praveen's wife, stares angrily at Praveen. Praveen cuffs a little and says gently into the microphone, Ria, the cat is lying. I did not sleep with the maid when you went to your mother's.
Okay. अच्छा है यार चलो. It's interesting. It's humor. And
Thank you, sir.
अच्छी बात है कि मुझे यही पे समझ में आ गया था कि क्या होगा. आप possible put back. Realize. You made me feel in that basically.
Yes, sir. I actually tried to, like, as I was writing, I was trying to visualize as well. So I tried to put that into the text as well. And I only put dialogue wherever I felt it was necessary. Otherwise, I just tried to describe whatever was happening in as crisp sentences as I could. So I just followed that, sir.
सही है. ठीक है, कोई सवाल है तो पूछ, अदरवाइज फोन.
Not as such, sir. Not as such. Thank you so much.
ठीक है. आशना. आशना, are you there? है तो नहीं. आशना नहीं है ना. Just getting somebody to confirm. This is to me कर रहा हूँ. Okay. Shruti. You there, Shruti?
Yeah, sir. Hello.
हाँ.
Am I audible?
I think I just give me a second. I think कल भी आशना नहीं थी ना शायद. If I'm not mistaken.
कल मनस्वनी नहीं थी.
हाँ, कल मनस्वनी. ठीक है श्रुति, चलो शुरू करते हैं.
Yeah. Should I read the question?
No, I'm just trying to. Okay. Genres क्या है?
Genre is slice of life drama.
Okay. चलो.
Yeah. Premonition. One day I decided to quit it all. You know, all my life I saw this moment coming, almost approaching at a very dangerous velocity towards me. And one day that moment of space and time collided on 13th August 2024 at 5:05 a.m. My mother died. It's a cold morning, the sky covered with clouds has made the outside all blue, but I am sitting inside in front of my mother's body, wrapped in white sheets of clothes. There's smoke everywhere, which is an attempt to make such an environment positive by lighting these rose infused incense sticks But you can't make something smell good in a background noise of people crying ferociously. I'm not crying. It's making me very uncomfortable and embarrassed, not from the effect that I have any internal conflict on my numbness, but from the sheer mass of people around me judging why her only son is not showing even an ounce of emotion at his mother's death. I cried a lot when I lost my father 25 years ago to a surprise heart attack out of nowhere. That day, I understood two things about life. One day, I will lose my mother too, and one day, I will be all alone. This dream germinated that day. When I have no one in my life, I will embark on this long journey on my bike towards the mountains. And I did after completing my mother's last rites. I packed my mother's harmonica and my father's Hemingway novels, which he loved, but I never really liked because all his characters are always drunk and flawed and he repeats himself too much. But I decided to give him another chance to redeem himself. A box of chocolates as a life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you will get. Loved that movie. And that certainly has been the story of my life. Plus, I have something of an addiction to sugar. I never felt this free and alone at the same time as I am feeling on this journey. I am missing mom deeply. She once said to me, life's greatest truths are paradoxes. On the 20th day of my ride, I encountered this monk who was sitting on a huge rock all alone and looking over to the barren but beautiful landscape of Ladakh. I greeted him, Jules. He passed me a smile and gestured for me to come, as if he was just sitting there waiting for me to come and tell me this thing that he told me. I am happy, free man now, cruising across the ancient mountains surrounding me on my Sonorita, my bike. A sweet tone of harmonica buzzing in my ears, and a Hemingway phrase is in my mind. The world breaks anyone, and afterwards, many are stronger at the broken places. I have a new friend I never expected.
मतलब ठीक है, थोड़ा डिप्रेसिव सा भी है.
क्या
Give
है
me a minute.
dangerous?
थोड़ा सा एक मिनट. So I think I got it wrong. Okay. हाँ, क्या ये थोड़ा ज्यादा वो है, मतलब थोड़ा ये प्लास्टिक वाली फीलिंग है. It's more like a very, how do I put it? How do I put it? मतलब it is nice, it is very nice, but it doesn't touch me anyway or something. It doesn't,
So your voice is breaking. I couldn't make out what you're saying.
uh, is it any better?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, it is a little plastic. It doesn't touch me, you know. It's a very uh, It's good, but it doesn't affect me. It's not affecting me at any level. I'm trying to figure out why. Why is it not touching?
Okay.
I don't know. I think is it because it sounds a little preachy? Maybe I don't know. I'm not too sure. It sounds as if this passage is trying to tell me about life more than how. Sorry, किसी ने बोला कुछ तो समझ नहीं. So, but ठीक है.
Yeah, is it because I wrote it majorly in a first person voice?
नहीं ऐसा भी नहीं है. थोड़ा थोड़ा. See, the word that comes to my mind again and again that describe my experience is it's too plastic. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you, but
Oh.
that's what it is kind of to me.
Hmm.
So I'm not, and I'm honestly not very sure why is that happening. I'm trying to really.
Yeah, so it would be amazing if you could figure that out, because as you said, I enjoyed writing this one a lot. I was like enjoying it. I completed it under 30 minutes. So I was like, yeah, this one was good. I had a good.
Shruti, can I say something? This is Naresh Sharma.
Yeah, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
See, one thing is, I enjoy doing a lot of things. Okay. But that is fine. But this is an examination where there are certain kind of elements are going to be checked in your answer sheet. Are you getting my point? So enjoying is one thing, and what exactly the examiner is looking at is something else. Sometime it can happen. So you need to think from other people's perspective, which means a very objective perspective, how somebody will look at it. What are those parameters? One is trying to find out that whether they are satisfied or not. Okay. So what I mean to say is that one need to be careful from the perspective of examiner. That is the only thing which I wanted to say, because then I would be attempting something else. So this is the last assignment of, after that is somebody who sent the late are not being considered. So let it, after this, call it a day. Okay. Yeah.
हाँ ठीक है. तो
Thank
ये
you.
अभी
Thank you.
एक ही बचा है. अच्छा, I realized when Naresh was saying, so I realized what he actually helped me. As I mentioned earlier to somebody, कि बहुत literally है, बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब heavy on literature, heavy on making me forcing me to feel kind. So, but could have been a better presentation. थोड़ा थोड़ा lesser events but more effective events होते हैं. बहुत सारे events हैं. इतने सारे events से मतलब है कि इतने सारे इसके pointers हैं. She's trying to suggest so many things. So I think कि उसमें the emotion gets lost somewhere, and that is what is not touching. Not touching. I think that's what it is. Are you getting point?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So maybe next time try something lighter and something more like with fewer elements, but more in-depth assessment of your characters in the sand. Manaswini, you saying something?
Yeah, sir. I just wanted to ask you कि ये जो अभी आपने बोला कि जब बहुत ज़्यादा literary हो जाता है and everything, I feel that even though I think you liked my write-ups, but हाँ वो literary हो जाता है. Now what do I do about it? Matlab, how do I work
नहीं,
around it? Because
no,
that is my voice. Yeah.
no, you're right, absolutely right. It's not about that. Literary होने से कोई problem नहीं, वो अच्छा है, but literary, when every time I mention Pushpan Singh, can you challenge his understanding of literature? Can you even, think he's lesser uh, an expert in this field? Not at all. But it's all about, it's not about how you are presenting your thoughts. It's more about what your thoughts are. You know? So if both the things are are very good, it works. What the thoughts are, and then next only to that is how you are presenting your thoughts. So it's more about what the thoughts are, and more important to focus on. And then only comes कि भैया तुम कैसे present कर, in a more simple way, in a little more beautiful, uh, you know, better choices of words, or extremely difficult read, but still interesting. But the fact still remains ki what your thoughts are. It's your thoughts which will drive your passage, not the presentation, or not the way you are present, not the choices of words or sentences. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
So the thoughts need to be deeper in themselves, in their roots. Thoughts need to be, and then it will definitely touch. तो वो घुमा फिरा के टच करेगा,
Yes.
अगर वो थोड़ा सा और इन डेप्थ रहे, और
So, sir, just for the sake of the exam, would you recommend कि we are writing from event to event to event to event and not really going into our own
नहीं,
personal voice?
no, you
I'm
have
just asking for the exam. Like, if you're an examiner, would it be
नहीं,
confounding for you? Yeah.
I would say, yeah, to some extent, definitely, but still, it is more about what you think, how it's more about what's your thought process, what are you made of, what's your perspective, what's your take on that. No, it is more about that. So even if you're going event to event, it will eventually mean, the whatever that you pick and choose and you paste it here, is what you have finally chosen. So that what is more important for me, and not the charm of reading just any damn thing, any uh, not so or shallow philosophy. I would rather want a deeper philosophy than not a very shallow. I'm not trying to say that Shruti, your subject here, your topic here, whatever you're looking is very shallow. Nothing like that. But it's somewhere it's not very effective. It's not very, अब एक ही शब्द आ रहा है मेरे पास बार बार घूमते फिरते, it sounds very blasé. That's why I'm trying. So it doesn't sound classic, at the same time it touches you. But again, not to, you shouldn't be you don't have to really uh, uh, stop being what you are. You can't afford to do that. You can't pretend by any chance. You have to be what you are. But try to make it a little more grounded, with your thoughts, with your ideas. A little more human. If and ऐसा नहीं है, some days you guys do a very good job, some days it doesn't work as well. It's just that. तो एकदम बिल्कुल ऐसे कि ना तुम लोग कस्प पे हो एकदम, कभी वो गजब का काम कर देता है, तो दोनों चीज जेल कर जाते हैं परफेक्टली, कभी वो नहीं काम करता है और वो बहुत बाहरी पॉलिश ज्यादा दिखता है दैन की गहराई. So it's just that.
Okay,
तो
sir.
कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ लो फटाफट.
Um, mm, so I got
Acha, you have the second one also, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Let's go read that one.
Yeah, I chose the prompt. They call him a mad scientist, but he's set to achieve something phenomenal.
Okay.
An unhinged anomaly. John Cassavetes is a man of extremes. He is on a mission to save the world from mass extinction by making spaceships in dreams of inhabiting Mars. He is making this chip to be inserted in a human skull to somehow make them a superhuman. He is fighting against the rapid and approaching danger of artificial intelligence. He is fighting for independent journalism. He is digging underground tunnels to beat excruciating traffic. All these are just some of the passion projects of the billionaire John Cassavetes, whom some call a mad scientist. But he knows he has set out in this world to achieve something phenomenal where nothing is impossible. Cassavetes feels at his worst when things are going great for him, and there is no atrocity or problem in the world for him to solve. Like when the rockets are not blasting at the launch pad, or when the electric car company he started is now the most valuable automobile company in the whole world, or when he bought the most influential social media company for billions of dollars to save free speech. He has this tendency to take things to extreme, but this was just the start. What came next is the launch of his own independent political party, My Ultimate Passion, with which he set out to dismantle all the boring systems of bureaucracy that make passing any law and change practically impossible due to all the middlemen who exist in this layered system of bullshit federal government. His party is his ultimate solution to revolutionize government and its functioning. Casavati is all over the news for his new passionate project. Journalists are asking him all sorts of questions, passing allegations about his fake, self righteous persona, which seems like self centered embarking. One of the journalists in a conference asked him, Mr. Casavati, aren't you ever worried about losing your mind? For which Casavati answers, does a mad person ever look in the mirror and know that he is mad? The conference concluded with the final comments, which were displayed on the black screen of the television, which are the following. Perhaps this is the most important mission John Cassavetes is on, to never have to answer this question.
That's what it feels as worse when things are going great for him and there's no atrocity of problem. So, अच्छा ठीक है अच्छा अच्छा है श्रुति
Okay, sir. Sir, in this question, it's like it has been asked that focus on one of the given characters' description to build the story around.
Hmm.
So I tried doing that.
No, correct. That's what I'm getting. It serves the purpose actually. It correctly somewhere serves the purpose.
Mm.
And serves the purpose as in fits the bill. But in the end, it sounds, as per the story, it sounds a little sarcastic somewhere. It sounds as if uh, people do not tend to give him the views, or he rather doesn't really deserve it.
Yeah, that is kind of sarcastic. The intention was that there.
अच्छा सही 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 है अच्छा
Any remarks? How can I improve this one?
कितना मार्क्स दूंगा ये पूछ रहे हैं I how much will I give you out of 10? This is what you're asking.
No, I mean, how any remarks? How can I improve this? Like
अच्छा
structure wise, yeah.
remarks is uh, see this is something I'll be honest right now. So when I write, I it's very unlike me or my style, and which is why possibly it's not really touching me so much. No, neither of your assets touch me so much. It's more कि हाँ I realize अच्छा है I told you अच्छा है because it fits correct. It's like it's correctly fitting there. But it's not again it's not very effective in certain terms. I would have again क्या हो रहा है इसमें भी वही problem है. Too many things are happening for me to really focus on. You know, too many things. Cassavati जो है एक तो उसका नाम Cassavati I'm not too sure. It's very twisted again. It's very मतलब वो it's not it doesn't fit in the fluency of my thoughts. It breaks my thoughts every time for me. So I would just keep pick and choose more soothing, more phonetically soothing thing. Although I'll be reading it, but even if when I'm reading it, I'll be listening to myself in my so make it more like fluid. John Trinity, the John रहता ना तो so he chose the surname to continue. John का सर्वेटी से एक बार introduce करके बाद में John कर तो अच्छा because I know that name. It's easier for me. Second thing is there's so much that this guy is doing. So much. Every sentence he's doing something. And
Yeah,
so
that
it's so
that was one of his
it's like
character.
yeah, but the problem is it's see you bombarding me with an image with every sentence. You're making me go image to image. It's a very MTV wala feel. cut. मतलब वो होता ना हमारे यहाँ एक और कहावत मतलब वो फेक एड्रेनलिन बूस्ट कर दो जैसे कुछ फिल्में होती हैं जहाँ पे एक्शन सीक्वेंस होता है और वो एक्शन सीक्वेंस में वो फाइट सीक्वेंस होता है तो धाड़ 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 दो कैरेक्टर्स एक दूसरे को मार रहे हैं पंच मार रहे हैं और उससे और वो कट्स ऐसे कट कट इधर से कट इस एंगल से उस एंगल से कट्स एक सेकंड के 1.5 सेकंड के कट्स उससे एडिट पे इतने ड्रामा क्रिएट कर दिया और अलग अलग एंगल्स ले लिए और शेकी शॉट्स ले लिए तो ड्रामा तो क्रिएट कर दिया बिल्डअप दे दिया और कहीं ना कहीं मेरे को अफेक्ट भी करवा दिया तूने ऐसा भी हुआ ये ध्यान से सुनना ये सबके लिए एंड मैं उस मोमेंट पे घुस भी गया तेरे फिल्म में और मैं ना बोर भी हो गया और फिर मेरा एड्रेनलिन भी शूट कर गया सब हो गया but it's a very fake one a more involving adrenaline rush would be when you create a very powerful background in that action sequence you create a very powerful background and you build it up, you build it up, you build it up, you build it up for me, you build it up, and you build it up to the point that when only the first character, or only one of them, just hits the other one once, and that adrenaline actually gives me that punch, or that punch happens for me. It's in the building up of the sequence and then hitting just once, for the release of my hormones, or whatever. It's more in the building up of the thing than in the action itself. If at all I'm making any sense to you, let me know if I have to repeat myself, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I understood what you are saying
So it's more like
in that context.
तो हाँ उस context से मैं
Yeah.
समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि वो रिंग में दो बंदे फाइट कर रहे हैं या स्ट्रीट पे फाइट कर रहे हैं और सिर्फ फाइट चल रहा है 10 मिनट तक सिर्फ मैं मुक्के को देख रहा हूँ तो मैं हूँ मैं मेरे अंदर वो कुछ तो एग्रेशन आ रहा है देखने का वायलेंस का पर वो थोड़ा फेक है बट अगर मैं एज अ फिल्म मेकर उसको सिर्फ एक या दो या तीन मुक्के में ही वो सीक्वेंस खत्म करवा देता लेकिन मैं बिल्डअप दे देता हूँ ऐसा बिल्डअप देता है ऐसा सॉलिड कि ना फिर वो इवेंचुअली जब वो जाके एक ही इवेंट होता या एक ही एक्शन होता और उसमें वो रिलीज हुआ तो वो ज्यादा लॉन्ग लास्टिंग तब वो ज्यादा डीपर होगा तब वो ज्यादा गहरा अफेक्ट करेगा टच करेगा अंदर है ना सो दैट इज अ बेटर अप्रोच than this fast cut and all kinds of angles wala cuts you know so
Yeah.
somewhere वो वही इशू मुझे तेरे साथ लगा अच्छा है मैंने बुरा नहीं है बट मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक मैं तेरे को ऑनेस्टली बताऊं मैं 10 में 6 या 6.5 तक वहां तक ही था तो ये वही वाली बात अगर बिल्डअप होता जॉन कैसावेटी को हम बहुत उसकी उसकी पर्सनैलिटी को ज्यादा समझते हैं और फिर उसके बाद वो सिर्फ एक एक्शन कुछ करता है ऐसा कुछ तो वो ज्यादा पावरफुल होता इस व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू आई थिंक even here I think it's the same I think it's a similar problem I think it's a similar problem there too many things are happening for me to focus on it too many things जब होता है तो फिर कोई एक चीज का रस नहीं आता है तो बहुत सारे रस आते हैं तो वो पूरा मडी हो जाता है इट्स मोर लाइक माइंड लाइक दैट I would think you guys should focus more on fewer rasas you know वही हो
On the
रहा है
second,
हाँ बोल sorry
in the second story, all the information I'm providing is the purpose of all that is to set up the character for the audience. Like this is our character. This is all the things he has done so far, and he is mad enough to launch his own political party now to revolutionize the government.
No,
And
you're
I am
right.
like,
नहीं तेरा you're right, but this build up this वाला जो ये वाला जो है ना build up of his character मैं कह रहा हूँ build up कर लेकिन वो दूसरा तरह का build up हुआ this is like you made your points out like यहाँ पे कहीं पे उसने वो ऐसी हरकत कर ही रहा है एक तो चीजें कर दिया तो you made it very clear he is थोड़ा हटके वाला इंसान and the fact that he's a billionaire so he doesn't really care इतना पैसा है कि he can do any damn thing you know? And then maybe so again यहाँ पे भी वो इसका ऑलमोस्ट इसका रिपीट है इसकी इसकी ये जो पागलपंती है वो यहाँ पे भी आ रही है all kinds of weird things that you would think of is what he's involved with and the fact he doesn't really mind even if things are in fact it affects him if things become normal ये अच्छा है so and then what comes next is the launch of his own independent party by the ultimate passion which he set out to dismantle all the going अब ये जब आया ना लाइन तो फिर मैंने इसके बाद में कुछ न्यूनेस नहीं लगा उस कैरेक्टर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कि हो गया इसने तुमने बता दिया कि वो कैसा है और कुछ आया फिर he is all over the news for his passion project what project oh the chip one this project
no, this my ultimate the political party started.
अच्छा ये this ultimate
Yeah.
passion सी वही ना कि अब वो तो मैं क्या किस पे फोकस करूँ ना कि वो कौन सा एक प्रोजेक्ट अगर पे ये तूने शुरू में मेंशन किया है He is on a mission to save the world from mass extinction by making spaceships in dreams of inhabiting Mars. Okay.
This is all he has already done. This is like done. In the third
No,
paragraph,
Acha,
I
he's already
mentioned.
done.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned he's on a mission. So I'm assuming he's still working. Okay. So, and you could have just stayed with this, He's working on this. He's strange, he's mad, he's weird, he's absurd, and he doesn't like it when things are normal. हो गया अभी अल्टीमेट पैशन वाला जो पार्टी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी उसने किया ये क्यों किया समझ This
Actually,
form of
sir,
passion.
this is inspired truly by Elon Musk. So this is
हम्म
the person is Elon Musk,
नहीं
and
नहीं वो तो मुझे फील हो गया था बट मैं पॉइंट कि अरे मैं वो नहीं कह रहा हूँ ठीक है तो that doesn't affect add to my it
yeah.
doesn't ease
So
me.
what I'm saying is because of that choice, I added everything. If that was not my choice, I would have stick to one thing.
नहीं
And
यहाँ पे तेरा प्रॉब्लम वही थी प्रॉब्लम ऑफ टू मेनी थिंग प्रॉब्लम ऑफ प्लेंटी वाला प्रॉब्लम कि फिर मेरे लिए ना वो कम चीजों में वो रस ज्यादा आसान है फॉर अ क्रिएटर टू क्रिएट कम एलिमेंट्स में वो जैसे तू वाटर कलर किया कभी तुमने
हाँ,
जिनमें वाटर कलर में ना ब्यूटीफुल क्रिएशंस एक्चुअली होता है ना जब तुम सिर्फ एक या दो कलर के साथ खेलते हो समझ रहे हो तब वो चैलेंजिंग भी होता है चैलेंजिंग भी होता है और वो अल्टीमेटली जब बनता है ना तो बहुत पावरफुल बनता है जब हम बहुत सारे कलर्स के साथ खेलते हैं तो थोड़ा वो मतलब उतना चैलेंजिंग भी नहीं होता है और फिर वो थोड़ा मड़ी स्पेस में पहुंच जाता है थोड़ा सा वैसा वाला रहता है कि मतलब ठीक है बिग डील फ्रेम करके दीवार पे टांग दो वैसा वाला रहता है ना वही वही मैं करेंगे सी by no I'm not at all like kind of this क्या कहते हैं उसको यार मुझे वो नहीं कर रहा हूँ मुझे stick to what you are try to make it trying to make your stories more like a story more like I can follow it and I can feel it I should be able to feel it that's the thing it should make me feel something abhi this is not making me feel anything but it is making me feel to some extent but it's not doing its job properly it's like too much of too many things happen you know, and which then deprives me of any kind of emotional touching. It just doesn't do that which it is supposed to perfect. No, it gets diluted somewhere. Am I making sense by any chance?
yeah,
So, especially all the more especially because the FPI का entrance है but ठीक है बोल रहा ना मैं उतना ही वही उसको ठीक है वाला ही स्पेस में रहूँगा okay वाह it's not very it is imaginative but it is not very it doesn't serve the purpose perfectly I think I'm too tired today I'm finding it difficult to express myself so eventually I'm ending up with कि अच्छा है या फिर कि हाँ मतलब ना मजा नहीं आया क्यों नहीं आया वो फिगर आउट भी कर पा रहा हूँ एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ तुम्हारी स्टोरीज दोनों स्टोरीज की एक ही बात है तो मुझे अब समझ में आ रही है कॉमन है कि बहुत ज्यादा एलिमेंट्स हैं फॉर मी टू नो focus on and which is why it's taking over some of my I get your point
yeah. So understood what you're trying to say.
so अब बताओ, कुछ है सवाल किसी को? कुछ पूछना है, कुछ बताना है? अपने आप बात करें। हाँ guys, anybody, any question?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Go.
I wanted to know that what do you suggest that we watch in movies now? Like we have 20 days, so what movie should we watch?
I would suggest, I would suggest Sham Benegal, uh, Shaji and Karol, definitely both these people. Something you must expect something out of their films, you know. But they don't really ask. They won't really ask you about a particular film and to give a review or a feedback or or even if they ask such a question, it will come with an or, answer this or, because for the fact even if you have been a film buff, you might not have seen that particular film, so
Hmm.
they can't do that.
Yeah, not for that purpose, but
Uh,
like to understand cinema, to understand our like language as a director, answering like
Acha,
subjective
like that.
question. Yeah.
Then in that case, I would only suggest pick the iconic films from different various film movements, like for that matter, 400 Blows for French New Wave, for that matter, but the Bicycle Thief for Italian, for that matter, Ankur for Indian classical, for that matter, Battleship Potemkin for this thing, Russian montage, but that's pointless. That's too heavy for anybody to even think or assess or understand. You can watch. You can pick and watch some for the German expressionism. If some you can watch one, the most iconic one for from the Iranian cinema, maybe Where's My Friend's Home, something. But all this is, I think, at this point in time, with just 10 days left, narrow it down to what is more likely to come. Than, but watching the bicycle thief, and 400 blows, for that matter, for these two film movements is really important because it opens up a lot of things. It makes you understand these movements easily. It makes you understand or watch something from Godard. You know. So that will help you understand what French New Wave is for that matter, and that might just help answering a few questions. Similarly, yeah. So more like that. So, and apart from these movements, definitely must know everything about Shaji and Karun. फिर भी देख ले बाबा, फिर भी देख ले as it. फिर भी is one thing. I can't tell you what a film. Watch the other guy, and what else? Or इससे ज़्यादा कुछ specifically मत. You can watch one of these recent ones. You can watch the last year's Anora देख ले. बट इससे आएगा नहीं, ऐसे ऐसे सवाल आएंगे, उससे रिलेटेड भी नहीं आएंगे. मतलब किनसे रिलेटेड आ सकते हैं? पायल कपाड़िया कब देख सकते हैं. तो ये जो दो तीन जो नाम फिल्म मेकर्स हैं जिनकी सब कुछ तो हुआ है, और भी होंगे ऐसे फिल्म, चार पांच वर्ल्ड वाइड.
Sir, even David Lynch, who passed away this year.
Yes, David Lynch. Of course, thank you for reminding. तो डेविड लिंच देख ले, मतलब उसको भी देखने की जरूरत नहीं, उसके बारे में समझ, उसके बारे में पढ़ के भी वो क्या था, इस तरह की पता. इनसे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. तो और एंड FTI might just focus more on the Indian filmmakers श्याम बेनेगल पे तो आ ही रहा है, तो मान लो पायल कपाड़ी पे आ ही रहा है क्योंकि वो एफटीआई की है, तो मोस्ट लाइकली वो आ ही रही है। कैसे तो आई। शाहजी भी एफटीआई से है, तो वो भी आए, वो आएंगे आएंगे उनको। इनफैक्ट एफटीआई में लास्ट वो आए थे वर्कशॉप के थे, मतलब ही इज वेरी फ्रेश इन द मेमोरी ऑफ एफटीआई, whoever is setting the paper and all. So शादी वो आएंगे ना, मुझे तो लगता है क्या ऐसे स्ट्रैटेजी बना करके अगर आपको पढ़ोगे तो थोड़ा थोड़ा टाइम कम समय में ज्यादा चीजों को दे सकते हो, प्लान कर सकते हो। So I think more that would be more a better way of preparing. So I kind of take my words back when I say कि watch these films related to film movements. I don't think that's going to that's it's too much to invest for a very unlikely kind of space. So watch, you may, if at all, you may just watch The Bicycle Thief, and if at all, you may just watch 400 Crores, and that's it. You will understand these two film movements, and that's good enough. That's just good.
Okay,
But
sir.
you must know, which films are iconic films related to which film. Make a note of all the other films, make a note of all the films related to Indian parallel cinema. Make a note of films related to Indian parallel cinema. So ऐसे prepare कर time watching films. और कोई सवाल है? और कुछ है?
सर एक सवाल था
हाँ,
सर एक
कुछ
सवाल था कि जब हम आंसर लिख रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ सजेशन है कि वी शुड राइट इन प्रेजेंट टेंस और पास्ट टेंस, ऐसा कुछ,
नहीं,
और
ऐसा नहीं.
जस्ट इट शुड बी ग्रामेटिकली करेक्ट,
It
राइट?
should be grammatically correct, and it should be gripping enough for the audience, for the reader to just dive in and not come out of it. You just have to keep these two things. It should be grammatically correct से मतलब है कि वो भी बहुत लोग होते हैं कि इंग्लिश बहुत अच्छी नहीं होती, तो वो भी मैटर नहीं करता है, as long as you're communicating it fluently, as long as तू हाथ पैर मार करके वो fluidity के साथ communicate कर पा रहा है, but that's what it. So focus more on the content than on the form. So
Got it.
content is critical. It's the most important. So focus
Got
on
it. थैंक यू सर।
बाकी हाँ ठीक है, तो और कुछ है बताओ, और कुछ है किसी को? तो ये तो रखे क्या आज के लिए, हम करें? ठीक है जी, चलो फिर आज के लिए यहीं आज का खेल खत्म करते हैं। Let's meet again tomorrow. So take care guys, have fun.
थैंक
Thank
यू
you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
सर।
Yeah. Bye.
गुड नाइट, बाय सर।